Every year, thousands of people are failing the UK driving test because of poor use of mirrors. Are you nervous that you're going to become one of them? Then this video is for you. In this video, I'll be explaining 3 very common reasons why people fail their UK test on poor use of mirrors and how to avoid that happening to you. My name is Mustafa. I'm a driving instructor with over 9 years experience, so I've pretty much seen it all. And make sure you stay to the very end, because I will be sharing with you one bonus tip that you can actually practice at home when you're not on a lesson to polish up your mirror work. Okay, so let's get to it. The first most common mistake people make is they actually wait until they find a turn before they start checking their mirrors. So for example, if the examiner says to you, take next road left, so you're driving along, and when you find it, oh, there it is, and then you signal because you're feeling so much pressure and the mirrors get completely skipped, and then you end up failing. How can you avoid that happening? Here's the trick. As soon as your driving instructor or your examiner gives you the instruction, start checking your mirrors straight away. So that way you get ahead of the game. Let me give you an example. So driving along and your examiner says to you, or your instructor, at the end of the road, turn left. Instant response, checking your mirrors straight away. And then when you get closer, you can always check it again if you need to, but that way you'll stop that mistake from happening. Oh, and by the way, if you're enjoying the video and finding it helpful, please drop it a like, because it helps YouTube share it with learners just like you. On to the second cause of why people are failing their driving test on use of mirrors, the cause of it. So this is what happens, is that, for example, they are told to take a left turn, and so they check their mirrors straight away, wonderful, and then they get closer, they do the signal, get closer, and then they make the turn. But by the time they make their turn, the mirror checks that they've done was so long ago that the information is out of date, useless. Can you imagine if you're trying to cross a busy road and you look both ways to make sure it's clear, and then you waited 3 seconds before you started walking across the road? What would happen? Get run over, get killed. And so the way to avoid this mistake happening is by making a habit of checking mirrors repeatedly, several times, maybe 2 or 3 times before making your maneuver. So for example, turning right, checking mirrors straight away. When I get closer, I can check the mirrors again. When I get even closer, I can signal and then check the mirrors again. So by the time I get to the turn, I have the most up-to-date picture available of what I am doing. Okay, and moving on to the third cause, which is probably the most common one and the one that's the hardest to repair. So the mistake is that people check the mirrors, they check it on time, they signal on time, they check it again, so they've got the up-to-date information, and then they make their turn, but they're not responding to the information that's in the mirror. So for example, right before they make the turn, there's like a motorcycle about to overtake you. If that happens, you might as well not bother checking your mirrors because you're not responding to the information in there. So how can you protect yourself from that one? The answer for this one is I'd advise you to go onto a busy road with your driving instructor, a busy dual carriageway, and practice making repeated lane changes from left to right, back to left again, back to right again, and that way you'll get a good feeling as to how to use those mirrors. Just before we move on to the bonus tip, I'd like to say a very quick thank you to all those who have already subscribed. It helps so much. And if you haven't done so already, please do it now, because that will make sure that you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay, and so as promised, on to the final bonus tip, something you can do at home. So this is what it is. Sit on a chair in your house and start giving yourself directions. Say to yourself, okay, at the end of the road, turn left. And once you say it, start working your head and your eyes like you're sat in the car. So checking the mirror, back in the road, mirror, back in the road. Okay, at the roundabout, turn right. So mirror, in the road, back in the road. Even though there's no car in front of you, you start to create muscle memory in terms of how the eyes and the head should be moving every time you're instructed to be making a left or a right turn. And that way, when you get back in the car for a driving lesson or for your driving test, you've got enough muscle memory built up to be able to execute nice and polished. Thanks for watching, and one last piece of advice: if you haven't already watched it, watch my video on steering next in my library. You'll find it very helpful. Look forward to seeing you all on the next video. Thank you and God bless.